What's up, sons? It's Blind Rod with Son of a Tech once again, and the Ironfish network finally is listed on an exchange that I trust enough to determine mining profitability, and it has been pulled through the API into hash rate calculators such as hashrate.no. So we can take a look finally at the profitability for Ironfish, see if it's worth it for you to mine it, and so on. Now, Ironfish as a network, of course, we have talked about how to set up the node. So definitely go ahead and check that video out if you're interested in setting up a node. We'll talk about if it's worth it or not from a mining profitability standpoint in this video. And then, of course, don't forget to check out the video covering the tokenomics for Ironfish, because there are some concerns there. If you are more a fundamentalist cryptocurrency dudette, then you may not enjoy, of course, their tokenomics, because it is very, very institutionalized. So with all those disclaimers out of the way, let's get into profitability right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. I recently launched a crypto mining e-course at sonofatech.com, and it includes 9 steps to cover when you decide to start your crypto mining journey. This is specifically pertaining to 2023 crypto mining profits and taking advantage of the down market to achieve skyrocketing growth as we move into the next halving of Bitcoin. You'll learn buying mining equipment in a bear market, using outside investment to speculative mine, begin mining once profit is established, sell mine crypto to pay for electricity, hold and prep for the bull run, sell at the top of the bull market, sell mining equipment at the top of the bull market, and begin investing in land and power so that you can bring in outside investors to utilize excess resources. Thanks everybody for your support, and I hope you enjoy the course. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Welcome back. So it's pretty exciting to see this Ironfish network get launched, get listed on an exchange, and all of that. Here's some great things about Ironfish from my perspective in general right now, is it had one of the smoothest launches that I've seen from a cryptocurrency ever, right? What we saw from Ironfish as far as a launch goes is everything pretty much functioning right off of the bat. Now, it did experience some significant network slowdown times due to the amount of people that decided to mine it right off of the bat, but all things being said, the network was still functioning, which means that, you know, pretty impressive stuff, especially because it does have the most hash rate on it that I think we've ever seen from a new coin launch, which is pretty nutty. I think a lot of that can be attributed to their documentation, as well as the fantastic job the marketing team did on the actual project itself, making sure that everybody was aware and ready for it to launch. It had day one support out of the box for a majority of the popular mining pools, which was quite impressive. And it had day one launch support for all of the mining software, which is something that we typically don't see either. And that makes this coin very unique from a launch perspective. Some of the negatives on the launch side, of course, I think right off the bat was the network slowdown time. The difficulty adjustment was a little bit of a bumpy road initially, but that seemed to smooth itself out. And then I think the biggest problem was the hash rate distribution, primarily due to the fact that there were incentives to mine the hero miners that weren't present on other mining pools, i.e. their 10,000 USDT airdrop for mining Ironfish on their pool. And I don't think that those practices are healthy for the network, so I wanted to point that out as well. That being said, we have very impressive pricing right off of the bat for Ironfish, coming in at $8 per coin. And this means that it does make it pretty profitable across the board, and extremely profitable for units or GPUs that are efficient at Blake 3. What GPUs are these, you may ask? Well, those are going to be the AMD GPUs, specifically the 7000 series and the 6000 series. While the NVIDIA GPUs are profitable as well still, isn't as efficient as it would be on Dynex. So that's just some things to keep in mind. But as you can see, we finally have what would be, in my opinion, something that is competitive for the 7000 series and the 6000 series from a mining perspective, as where before Ironfish, we really didn't have something that was competitive on a profitability and revenue standpoint as it would be on the NVIDIA side of things. The 7900 XT, for example, at 10 cents a kilowatt hour, pulling in 45 cents a day on profit, and the 6900 XT pulling in 43 cents a day on profit. Some of the favorite GPUs that people were building out in the previous bull run was the 6600 XT and 6600, which are now both profitable on this particular algorithm, with the 6600 XT being at 14 cents a day after 10 cents a kilowatt hour, and the 6600 being 13 cents a day after 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And the price has been pretty stable at around $7.50 to $8 since the launch. And you can go through the order book and kind of see where it's sitting at right now. That being said, this has just launched on Kucoin, so things could change as miners begin to liquidate what they've done, what they've had, as well as testnet users begin to liquidate what they have. So if you guys aren't familiar with Ironfish, part of the reason they were so successful with the launch was they had incentivized testnets that people got basically airdrops later on after launch for participating in these testnets. And that means that there is a certain amount of Ironfish that is going to be pushed to the market from people that were basically on the testnet and moving through it. So testnet rewards, for example, look something like this. This was a node that I ran for a testnet 3. Pretty low. I only got 1.6 Ironfish in this particular setup. So, and this is one of the guides that I did for you guys for the incentivized testnets. But this is what I'm talking about. Essentially, you get these rewards. It was based on the amount of points, which was based on basically the amount of participation you had in any of the test nets. And so that is actual real Ironfish that you can send to the markets and sell. So that is going to be basically an influential piece to how much this coin settles out. So I think it'll be a little bit volatile, obviously, over the next few weeks, and then we'll settle in on a price, and we'll have to see where it goes from there. If we look at difficulty, etc., on the network, it did have a very high spike early on, and then now it has begun to basically recover after a dump off when people were basically just having issues with slowness on the network, and then it slowly started building back up on that difficulty chart. And you can see here that part of the problem still is going to be this 4.27 petahash a second on hero miners, definitely taking up a majority of the network. As you can see, there's 6 petahash on the network, meaning that from a 51% attack issue, there could be hero miners, participating in that. Now, when we talk about 51% attacks, that doesn't mean that I think hero miners is going to attack the network, but in the case that there was someone malicious that wanted to attack the network, they could feasibly go through hero miners, hack it, and then utilize whatever power they have on that pool to fork the network. Not something that has been done in a long time, mind you. The last one that I can remember was from Sumo Coin to Ryo Coin, and that was in 2 cycles ago at this point. So, pool security has gotten a lot better. There's not as much of a concern. I don't have a direct concern with hero miners either. It's just something that's notable to pay attention to. So spread your hash out if you can. I get it. A 10K USD airdrop is enticing and you want to get that, as well as hero miners typically has, like in the US, some of the best ping times, which is definitely a benefit as well for a lot of people or a lot of miners. So I get why this is happening, but if you do have good ping to any of these other pools, definitely go ahead and consider basically moving your hash rate over. Another thing that makes it extremely difficult too is you got a 0% fee right now for the launch on hero miners. I think this is kind of not healthy for the network to see this, but at the end of the day, pools are a competition. They are a business, so I understand why hero miners went this route, and that's the way it's going to play out. Now, I do have one rig mining on it, but it's down right now because I was messing with overclocks, and I definitely need to basically reset all of the overclocks on this particular unit, and then we will cover basically the RX 6000 series hash rates in a later video. Thanks everybody for watching. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell down below. Let me know, are you mining Ironfish, and is it coming out to profitable for you? In the case that you aren't mining Ironfish, does this information and listing on the Kucoin change your mind? Are you going to begin mining Ironfish? And then what GPUs are you mining Ironfish with? Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Tuesday. Don't forget to check me out at sonofatech.com for my crypto mining e-course, as well as checking out the locals at sonofatech.locals.com for my daily moves.